Welcome to Baddow Hall Junior School's update on the guidance provided by the government concerning relationships and sex education, RSE, and health education with me, Mr. Olambatel, the RSE and HE lead. The previous guidance we had on this subject was published over 20 years ago, and it wasn't a compulsory subject to be taught in the national curriculum. The guidance shown relates to the modern world, making sure that children and young people are taught how to navigate the modern world safely, both on and offline, about keeping children safe and acknowledging that the world has changed dramatically since we were children. This was the statutory status from September 2020. Relationships education is statutory in primary schools, and the DfE strongly encourages them to continue teaching age-appropriate sex education. Our policy states, at our school, we do not teach pupils sex education beyond what is required of the science curriculum. We have developed our RSE and HE policy, and it is accessible via the school website. By involving you in the process of reviewing the policy, it ensures you further understand how relationships and sex education will be delivered in our school. That is to say, there will be no sex education taught to years 3 and 4, but there are some science lessons in years 5 and 6 that involve discussing reproduction and body parts. There is also a puberty talk in year 5 that is compulsory as per the national curriculum, though you will be informed before this takes place and be invited to discuss the resources used for this lesson. This shows the relationships education units. The focus in primary schools will be on healthy, respectful relationships, concentrating on family and friendships on and offline. The proposed new curriculum will cover issues such as talking about emotions, online safety, body image, consent and harassment in an age-appropriate way, stereotypes, respect and self-respect, tolerance and trust. These areas will be repeated on a yearly basis, covering all of the statutory guidance. A summary of each topic is as follows. Families and people who care for me. This is acknowledging that families are important and provide love, security and stability, what a healthy family looks like, that sometimes families look different, that these differences should be respected and that these families also provide care and love, and being able to recognise if a family relationship is making them feel unhappy or unsafe and who to talk to. Caring friendships. This is how important friendships are, how to choose and make friends, the characteristics of friendships, that most friendships have ups and downs and how to manage this, how to recognise who to trust and who not to, and if a friendship is making them feel unhappy or sad, and, again, who to talk to. Respectful relationships. This covers the importance of respecting others even when they are different from us, but also having self-respect. Learning about different types of bullying and the responsibilities of bystanders, and knowing about stereotypes and permission seeking. Online relationships. This covers that sometimes people behave differently online, that they need to behave respectfully online as they do offline. About keeping safe and reporting harmful content, being able to critically consider online friendships and sources of information. And finally, being safe. This covers different types of boundaries between friendships, peers and others, the concept of privacy, differences between appropriate and inappropriate touch or unsafe contact, how to respond safely and appropriately to adults, how to recognise and report unsafe or feeling bad about an adult, how to report concerns or abuse, and the vocabulary and confidence to do so, and where to get advice. Schools are given the freedom to determine how to deliver the content set out in the guidance, but suggest that effective teaching involves breaking down units into a manageable size in a carefully sequenced way, a bit like the suggested half-termly units that we follow from this scheme of work. This is an example of the Year 3 RSE suggested curriculum. The My Changing Body lesson will not be taught, as we believe this is too much too soon, in line with our policy. Throughout all year groups, there are certain lessons that will not be taught as they fall into the same category. This is an example of a Year 3 task where, as a class, they discuss which rules are appropriate in different situations and why they are needed. This is a Year 4 example in which children discuss different emotions and when it is appropriate to feel them. This is an example of a Year 5 worksheet that aims to help children see that there are both good and bad consequences depending on actions taken. And this is a Year 6 example where children discuss friendship issues and how to solve them. Please now spend a bit of time thinking about how we can support you to support your child. Thank you for your time. If you have any feedback or suggestions concerning this scheme of work, please send them to the parent support email at the school, which is on the screen. If there are any questions that cannot be answered by the office, they will be forwarded to myself. This video will be available to watch until Wednesday the 5th of May at 15:30 hours. Thank you again.